kiss your kids, you go out, you bust your butt every day as hard as you can, give 100% effort so that people will give you an opportunity, you do everything right, and you go home and you...
Don't get started. We'll get on that shit a little bit later.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
Hello, Clarice.
What up, bitches?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Man, episode 161. How y'all like my singing? Was it pretty good? No?
No.
All-star?
No.
I can sing. I'm the coolest singer on the block, man. I can sing better than Chris Brown.
You look like a dude who can sing. I will say that.
See, exactly.
Yeah. If it came from his diaphragm.
Like off from down in the gut.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Look at that. Ain't that a bitch? Anyways, episode 161 of your favorite podcast, Facebook Live, YouTube, all this other shit. And one of these days we'll get on Twitch if I feel like playing video games, which I don't necessarily like to, per se. But straight Meddlers show. This is me, Bakax Obama.
Oh, Gati boy, man. What's happening? What's happening? Is your professor today? He's the professor. Yeah, he's still the professor.
He's still the professor. He's still the professor.
Change it up with Bakax up there.
Yeah. I only got a couple, man. I keep it between Karate Gati and Gati boy.
Well, it's not like I'm using my real name anyways, but fucking shit happens. But this is, like I said, episode 161, that fuck 'em episode. Of course, we got a couple of things to get to today. Again, well, hell, fuck it. How was you guys this weekend? It was a beautiful fucking weekend. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was almost spring this weekend, right?
Almost. Shit, I thought it was at this point.
Hey, look, man, when I got outside, I think I texted y'all. I was thanking the Texas weather gods for blessing us with a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Right.
And I figured that it was gonna be like some type of hailstorm for us to pay for that. You can't have no nice shit.
Not for too long, not here. Especially around these times. This is when the weather is super wacky. It'll be 75 one day and it'll be -1 the next.
This is very true.
Same day.
Oh yeah, or in the same day.
In the same goddamn day. God damn, in the same goddamn day.
You might wear a coat when you leave the house and come back
shorts.
Come back in shorts.
And see, that's what happened to me this morning, right? So right before I get ready to go to work, I look up and I go, okay, well, it's going to be 70 degrees. I look on my phone and I'm perfectly fine. And I'm like, okay, I don't need a hoodie or anything like that because I'm going to be good, for the majority of the day. Man, by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, I was like, wait a minute, maybe I should have wore a hoodie today. It's windy and it's cloudy.
Yeah, that windiness mess with everybody because it was so windy. It made it cool in the morning, but mid-afternoon it was warm. It just windy as fuck. I mean, pulling your car all to the side when you're driving.
yeah, especially when you go on the rear and get to moving like that. You're like, whoosh. You say, man, hold on, cuz. What the fuck you doing? No, real shit. real shit. But like I said, good show to get to today, of course. We're going to go ahead and just fucking jump right on into it, gentlemen. First up, what we got up for today, this cancel culture, cancel culture bullshit.
Love it. Cancel them bitches.
Okay. Why? But why though? So
there we go.
Yeah. If you've been hopping up under a rock, obviously, especially it started a while ago, but especially with the Me Too movement and a couple other things, like everything some of the things,
these motherfuckers.
and some of the shit that we grew up on, and you kind of expect it, right? But some of the things that we grew up on, cartoons and whatnot, they're starting to be canceled, like toys. Those are some of the specifics that we're getting into today. But they being, everyone is saying, oh man, we need to get rid of them. Like Aunt Jemima gone, Uncle Ben gone, the Lando Lakes gone. Like all these motherfuckers are just gone because it's like, oh, you're, pissing off the culture. The Washington football team or the Washington Foreskins, however you want to word it, they're gone. The Cleveland Indians, they're talking about, all this other shit, right?
They gone too. It's going to be in a couple of years. They gone too.
You see, so, and again, I get it from a certain standpoint. I mean, honestly, I just think it's white people being mad because they got to get rid of the Confederate flag. But I think that's kind of where it's starting at. I mean, but at the same time,
they're not getting rid. Yeah, they're not getting rid of the Confederate flag, but everything else got to go.
I mean,
That's a good point.
Yeah, but you see a Confederate flag, you kind of see it. That's not going to stop anybody from.
The rest of this shit is all like jokes. The Confederate flag is about some business.
It's like this shit is real.
Let me say that's about some real life shit right there, cuz. And so the first one, Mr. Potato Head, we actually been pushing this off for like the last 3 weeks. Mr. Potato Head. That's the one that they recently said, or they started off saying again recently. We need to get rid of Mr. Potato Head because he's a Mr. We want him to be gender neutral and all this.
They also had a Mrs. Potato Head though.
Yes, bingo. He's married.
But again, nowadays that's a problem too. God forbid you say a man marries a woman, right? That's the only type of marriage that you have.
It's a potato. Where are we going with this?
Where does it end? It is a fucking potato.
Let him stick his French fry wherever he wants to.
Put his dick in his pouch that's on his ass, wherever whatever the shit is,
Shit,
but
man.
And honestly,
I thought they would have liked it, right? Because it's the whole transgender thing they want us to do. So with Mr. Potato Head, you could just remove the gender, put a new one on, right? That's what we're doing.
But do you really remember?
I mean, Mr. Potato
now he becomes Cis Potato Head, or
Bruce Jenner Potato Head.
Yeah, however, all the different.
But see, that's the thing though. But did Mr. Potato Head I don't think I've played with a Mr. Potato. Oh God, I've played with a Mr. Potato Head before, obviously.
You went down that dark alley all by yourself.
and at the same time, I don't remember it having any kind of gender
significance.
Yeah, like no one, as a kid, I didn't give a fuck. Mr. Potato Head, whatever. Who cares? Right? Okay, yeah. Mr., Mrs., buy whichever one according.
Yeah, if you had one, which I don't think I did. If anything, it was at somebody else's house that had a Mr. Potato Head. Which,
right?
I wasn't like, ooh, that's what I want for Christmas. Like, I don't understand the significance of him anyway.
Right.
I guess he's not. He, she, whatever the fuck he is. Didn't have that significance in my life growing up. So it's like, why are we getting mad over this again?
The Potato Head thing was you could remove the pieces and switch them out,
Yeah.
Right.
Put on different stuff and all that. That was,
Yeah, but it was a girl and a guy, so it was like, I don't get where somebody's feeling left out.
Man, look, fry his ass.
Fry his bitch ass. But see, now they didn't completely get rid of it, right? Now, because keep in mind, again, PJ being 12, 13 years old, never had any aspirations to buy him a Mr. Potato Head, right? That was not some shit that was on the to-do list or on the Christmas list, right? And so now, again, they took off the Mr. and now it's just Potato Head.
Yeah.
What fucking difference does it make?
I think that makes it worse. You want to play with my potato head?
Wait, where's the spoon? But again, like I said, that's one of the ones that they're canceling now. We also got this was actually pretty good just because I think this one has a little bit more sense. But Pepe Le Pew, right?
Yeah,
that's another one. Pepe Le Pew.
You had to see that coming though.
Yeah, it should have been a lot. When Me Too first came out, they should have called Hanna-Barbera or whoever created that motherfucker.
Chappelle had a thing on his stand-up about that a long time ago.
Yeah,
right.
One of his first stand-ups.
But here's one of my favorite things to do, and I'm surprised more people don't do it.
Okay.
I like to get, slightly inebriated, in whatever way that I might choose to do that. And I love, and you guys, my wife. Anytime we get a new like TV service, all different apps you sign up for and shit.
Right.
One thing I look for is Looney Tunes. Right. The older the better. The older the better.
Okay.
They are the most racist, sexist shits ever. Now, all shit I've already seen.
Right.
Went way over my head as a kid.
Of course.
And then you come back, you're like, God damn, that's racist. And it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. I hope that they don't remove that shit from all the different little platforms or whatever. Because I do love going back and watching the racist. And I mean racist. Man.
Yeah.
Black people with fucking big lips,
big lips,
red and shit. And I just watch it. I'm just dying. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is so hilarious.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
And that's why we're getting into that. Like, if you're gonna go racist, it better be a fucking doozy. Just like how that the shit with Maxine Waters when Bill O'Reilly had that motherfucking James Brown wig on. Like, you gotta go that route.
From the source. There you are.
Fucking James Brown.
So you gotta
people in the back.
From the source. There you are.
She did have that wig on.
With it, if you're dry or it's not, you're gonna get canceled with that shit. But if you're gonna go racist with it, nigga, make that shit hilarious.
Go racist.
Yeah, so we know where you're coming from.
Matter of fact,
my all-time favorite though is Speedy Gonzalez and his cousin Slowpoke Joe.
No, Slowpoke Rodriguez. Rodriguez, yeah. Oh,
Speedy. I was like, God damn, y'all hitting everyone. No, I don't want to do that.
No, Speedy. No. Slowpoke Rodriguez was my nigga, dog. No.
Even with this, like, can we all agree that Pepe Le Pew was the first pussy grabber?
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew should have been gone a long time ago.
Like that nigga he harassed the shit out that pussy for like 30 years.
He was after the same one for 30 years, dog, just rubbing on it.
But to me, that I think it's like it's obviously the shit's retroactive and all that shit. But one of those things like y'all acting like creeps don't exist in real life.
Right.
Just because you cancel them in a cartoon or some old TV show or some shit like that, like, no, these motherfuckers, Pepe Le Pew is based off of somebody real.
And let's also be for real about it too, where a lot of these things that they're canceling now aren't really relevant today, right? You know what I mean?
Like when's the last time?
I can't remember the last time I seen a Speedy Gonzalez cartoon, right? Whether old, new, or indifferent. No, Speedy. Yeah, but I mean, same kind of shit. Like I said, like a lot of them aren't relevant now as they were back then. And again, to me, it's just.
Most kids don't even know what them characters are. Yeah,
and it's much ado about nothing, right? Like, okay, so you cancel Speedy Gonzalez. Does that still change the narrative of how some people feel about Hispanics? No. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they were in there, like they didn't have, and pardon the expression, but it's not like they were in there saying, oh, Speedy Gonzalez is a wetback. That never happened. You know what I mean? It was just, he was perpetuating stereotypes. You know what I mean? So
I don't think that came out with the term wetback just quite yet.
You see what I'm saying?
That's more of our generational kind of shit.
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you about wetback.
Oh, God.
My first job, not even out of college, I was still in college. It was an internship.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at this company. Should I even name? Yeah, it was a company called Northwestern Mutual.
There you go.
And I was an intern. and we had to go to some fucking like regional meeting type bullshit. And so, but it was like in another city, right? So it was like maybe 2 hours away, right? And so me being fucking 20 and not having no goddamn money, I wasn't finna drive out there on my dime because I didn't have a dime. So they hooked me up with this old dude who didn't even come into the office, right? He was one of them types, like, and this is way back, right? Didn't even come into the office. He just did his business on the side somewhere.
Right.
But they were like, oh, well, he's going up there. You ride with, I don't even remember his name. I just remember he was old and white. And it was me in the car and it was this white girl.
Let's call him Joe Biden.
Who was also, That's a
good one.
And he's telling us, he was actually kind of cool, like most races, right? Like he was kind of cool, like, you know, it's just once you start talking to him, you realize, oh, this nigga racist. But so we're sitting there talking to him, and he's, you know, telling us about shit, and he starts telling us about his ranch, right? He has a ranch out in fucking Texas somewhere. He lives in Louisiana, but has a ranch out in Texas.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, so, you know, most of the time, you know, I'll work for a certain period of time, and then I'll go out there for a couple of months on my ranch. And he's like, it's nice, it's peaceful. I'll sit out there. Nobody comes out there and bother me. Every once in a while, we'll have some wetbacks crossing the, you know, cross my property.
And it just flowed. It just flowed.
And I was like, and the white girl sitting there like, oh, okay, yeah, wetback, okay. Did you not just catch the racism that came out?
No.
And it was like, he was so racist that he didn't even register that as like, I probably shouldn't say this or
right.
or this is racist. That shit just rolled out. And I was like, all right. I mean, I ain't say shit.
Well, you had to respect.
He was my ride. What I'm gonna do?
Yeah, you had that too. And you had to respect. It's like, damn, that dude he just said, well, at least he's out in front with the shit. So it's like, he wasn't trying to hide it from you or anything like that. He just said it like, okay.
Hey, look,
take you back.
Hey, Jamile, look, I know I call them wetbacks, but man, hey, niggers are cool though. Okay,
yeah,
just run record.
Yeah, I mean, I like y'all. Y'all fast.
So goddamn, it's fucked up. So yeah, Speedy Gonzalez is another one. This is one that came up today too, and I'm kind of you know it's a TV show, but Monique's character on The Parkers, right? You know, she was chasing around Professor Ogilvy or Ogletree, whatever his name was in the show. She was chasing him around the whole time. You know, again, you know, some Me Too sexual harassing and some rubbing on and all this other shit. I mean, again, do you cancel The Parkers now?
I think that's where the double standard comes to play. Because I mean, we live in the world of double standard. Okay. A woman chasing a dude for trying to give him that pussy is always going to come off different than a dude, because maybe just the physical just nature of it in general, because dudes are stronger in most senses. So I think that was because he has the quote unquote power to resist her, and then I think what another thing that played into it is she was fat. She was a big girl. I think that plays a part into why people were kind of looking at you can see why, and trying to talk around that shit.
Girl.
Yeah. But it's the same thing when it comes down to it. If you come down to the black and whites of it, it's the same exact thing. But
human beings are horrible. Horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. Because with everything that you just said, it's like, she was fat.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean,
well, am I lying?
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Definitely a perspective to look at. Definitely.
That's just my perspective. Don't get mad at my perspective. Everybody got their own.
Right.
I say again, I hope I pissed somebody off with that though.
Yeah,
shit, counsel us. Shit.
Go ahead. Hey, we'll just change the name. But yeah, so there was a few other. I had some in my head. And this is one of my favorite I guess eventually, maybe not. But Herbert the pervert from Family Guy, oh, he's just my absolute fave. Like he's just my fave. Yeah. But like Seth MacFarlane, he's gonna press the envelope every single time, right? He's gonna take it all the way to the edge.
I think Seth has had way more just like racially charged things to be offended by than some of this shit that they're trying to bring up now. It's just like. I was like when Stewie said, "Thanks to black people for taking it all in stride."
Taking it all in stride.
Like, but that was greatness. Like, I laughed off of that for like 4 days.
If you're not gonna cancel him for the AIDS song,
there it is. I was gonna bring that shit up. Oh, and I seen an episode not too long ago. It was within like the last year or last season or two. They brought the AIDS shit back up. Like him and Lois were like going back in time, and like the AIDS song was going on this side of the wall, and like holla, they doing the AIDS song, and so they let the AIDS song play for a little bit. But him and Lois were standing in front of a cabinet full of like sperm and shit. Don't ask me where the rest of the episode went. Because right then and there, I just cut the fucking TV off and I just went to sleep. I was like, you know what? Seth MacFarlane, you still got it, buddy. You still fucking got it. After all these years, you crazy son of a bitch, you. But yeah, like, Herbert the pervert. Let's not even get started on American Dad. Like that whole show.
It's because Roger's a damn alien. He gets to do all that shit. That's his end. That's right. Like, nigga, I'm an alien.
What are you gonna do?
But South Park was ahead of the game. They had Mr. Garrison, who was a transsexual teacher.
God damn.
They were like what 15 years ahead of the game with that shit.
Oh my god. See, so you can't.
And even with Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle show, with the sketch you said earlier today, when they were going back and canceling like Mr. Ed and Flipper, James. I know him as James, the nigga hating dolphin.
I know him as James, nigga hating dolphin.
Yeah, it's like those type of things that have been out there. Like that lag time is weird. Like, right. We've been knowing about this. This has been in our culture forever.
But even the other cultures too. Like you look at your Archie Bunkers, your Fred Sanfords, your George Jefferson. They was all
racist as fuck.
Bigoted as motherfucker. Hell, real quick on Sanford and Son, one of my favorite episodes when the essay next door came over there. He's like, "Buenos dias, Mr. Sanford," and then Fred Sanford was like, "Well, beans and disease to you too." Back then,
but everybody laughed because that's a good joke.
Right. Yeah, true.
That's it. Again, we harp back on what, like, if you're gonna go that way, you got to make sure that shit is funny or thought provoking. No, not thought provoking, but funny. I mean, I guess it would be thought provoking in the fact that it's funny. But like, come on, man. Like, where are we at with this shit? Like, to me, I feel like all this shit is coming out because a small group of white ladies, some Karens, then finally figure some of this shit out, and it's like, oh, this is the shit we're gonna be mad about. Like,
my kids watch your show today. How about they don't?
Like, to me, it's like we're in that age where people are trying to find shit to be pissed off about.
Right.
Not that, life already gives us enough shit to be just in general.
Right.
To be mad and depressed and this and that and the third with. And now motherfuckers are actually going out of their way to try to get mad at shit. It's like, just nigga, no.
Shit. Just dumb shit. I'll put it to you this way. They better not ever cancel Dr. Rick. That's all I got to say. You can do whatever you want to in life, people. Do not progressive. You keep Dr. Rick on. I don't give a shit what happens, okay? Speakerphone in the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like that. But what Dr. Rick is actually really doing is showing people, have fucking common courtesy, you jackasses.
You fucking did. No. You hired him. Him. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And that's where I'm, where we at with this shit. It's like, to me, it's just one of those, like, well, where are we trying to, like, are we trying to pussify our next generation to the point where they have no kind of like worldly kind of views on anything. I get it. I get, you know, some of the racist shit, the Dr. Seuss and all, you know, the stereotypical shit. But but stereotypes come from a place of realness. So they're gonna have motherfuckers gonna have to get exposed to some of this shit. So it's like, come on.
Yeah, it was some of his books, and to be honest with you, I didn't even read it because I was like, again, it's another scenario for me where
like his kids' books or like other books.
Yeah, it's kids' books.
It's kids' books. It's like how he had Asian portrayed in there, and I think it had it with the slanty eyes and the big hat and all that, like stereotypical shit. All the yeah. All the stereotypical shit. So it's one of those, but.
And again, but people, are you still Dr. Seuss was I think when my parents were fucking young, Dr. Seuss was out, right?
Yeah, exactly. To me, it's like the level of people being quote unquote mad at a motherfucker from what, the 40s being a white man from the 40s being racist.
No, like, shit.
What? Oh my God! Let me clutch my heart right now, because I never would have thought about that. I never would have thought Dr. Seuss was racist. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
Not in the time frame where they had black restrooms and white restrooms. No.
Come on, dog. Where are we going with this shit?
Where do you think? Where do you think the next cancel culture is going to land? Because we got TV shows, we got grocery products. What's the next cancel culture?
What do I want to cancel?
I guess laptops. I don't know. Fuck.
All laptops need to be one color.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I would say beer bottles, since they got a long stout right here. Now this make people feel uncomfortable.
I think you know, to a certain extent, I think cancel culture is kind of overblown. It's like, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. Like I think it's kind of shows the immaturity of the society, because instead of just acknowledging that a lot of shit was racist back in the day, most shit was racist back in the day, and the fact that it's like that because our society, at least in America, is built on a lot of racist shit, right? That's just what it is. And so a lot of stuff that comes out of it is going to be racist, right? But you don't necessarily have to cancel it as much as have that understanding about it and acknowledge that is the fact that is in fact what, you know, the country is about, right? That it was founded by a racist, run by racists, and a lot of racist people have been in power throughout the history of it. So a lot of the shit that we've had coming up, you know, in this country is going to reflect that, because a lot of times art is reflecting what is
art imitates life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
that's obvious. But instead of having that adult conversation and being like, look, the motherfuckers was racist back then, we probably shouldn't like necessarily glorify all their shit. Maybe we can watch some of the stuff that's not racist, but you know, just understanding that is what it is. You know, now some shit like the Redskins, like there's levels to the shit.
Right.
You know, like that shit has to go. I don't necessarily have a problem with like Indians or anything like that, as long as you're not, you know, making them, you know, making a the
goddamn mascot, that fucking Redskin. Like, come on, man, that hoe gotta go. But you harped on that shit a little bit, where, you know, we gotta have an adult conversation. But in that same vein, you said it too. It's like this country is immature. So how can we have a mature conversation with a bunch of immature motherfuckers, right? Because it's like that's the back end of that. It's like, yeah, we should. A lot of us want to have this conversation. We're screaming to have this conversation, but a lot of people are immature. They'll get into their feelings quickly, or whatever because they felt like, oh, well, I grew up with this, so it inherently makes it right because I personally grew up with it. It's like, no, motherfucker, it was racist back then. It just motherfuckers didn't have a voice to say anything back then.
But what's the resolution though? Like, you can have the conversation all day, but then what? Cancel culture.
Yeah, I mean, but I think if you're having the conversation about this shit,
Right.
Because I feel cancel culture came out of it was birthed out of not being able to really have a conversation out of it. So motherfuckers kind of grouped together and like, all right, we're canceling this, and then everybody's taken aback and like butthurt about something that they don't really give a fuck about. But since these people over here are saying this thing from my childhood or whatever was bad, I gotta hate them. It's like, no, motherfucker, you just saying that shit was like wrong or racist or however the fuck you want to, view it. And it just, you got to be able to have that conversation and be able to move the needle in that aspect of just, and then just like, yes, this is, and then I think having the conversation will have solutions will come out of the conversation. That's where I think where it go to, but nobody's even trying to have the conversation. People are scared. Conversation, bring up some racist or some stereotypical shit around a lot of people and watch their butts get tight. Like, it's gonna happen.
And speaking of racist, Papa John's CEO or ex-CEO at this point, it kind of segued right into it. Who cares? His name is John, whatever. But again, if you've been hiding up under the rock for the last 3 years, obviously he got fired, being the CEO of Papa John's for his racially insensitive remarks. Ultimately, what he said was, if they can call each other niggers, why can't we call them niggers? All right, yeah, nigga, you got to go. And so he said recently said that he spent the last 20 months
in rehab
trying to get the N-word removed from his vocabulary in his dictionary.
Man.
But at the same time, in the same interview, he also said that was the first time he's ever used it.
Man, get the fuck out of here. First of all, who's your PR guy?
He doesn't have PR
every time he says it.
Oh my god! Yeah, I got the little swear jar.
Oh nigga!
What? So what was he trying? He was trying to play the sympathy card, right? That's what he was trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, he's trying to, conjure up, because ultimately, like, the interview was about, he thinks there was a conspiracy to get him out as being the CEO of Papa John's, which, okay, whatever. You're piece of shit, anyways.
He went on what the fuck network is that? I don't know, Owen or OAN.
It is wild, nigga. Most people don't even know they have it. They don't even know they have OWN. But turn on OWN, nigga. It's a whole different.
Oh,
reality.
Yeah, it's a different.
Oprah Winfrey Network on?
No. OAN.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. That shit is probably that shit.
You have it, nigga.
I got that shit.
Yeah.
I'm one of them who kind of want to see what, quote unquote, the other side is thinking. But yeah, man, I don't even know what side they on. Them motherfuckers.
I was watching that shit, and they said the California wildfires were caused because Californians didn't rake the leaves off of hillsides, because I guess hills are higher and closer to the sun.
Sure.
And so if there's a lot of dead debris up there, they'll catch fire. This is what I was like. Did you run this by somebody before you said it?
No. That everything's off the cuff.
You should probably call somebody and ask them.
Yeah, but no, that's the funny thing about it. Like, he was trying to play the sympathy card on being a racist, like, and people are buying that shit because it's
of course, because it's the 7 black friend theory, right? Yeah, you may say the N-word and not mean it in a derogatory way, right? But it's like, well, I have 7 black friends and I would never call them that. So, but you said it though. Like, you said it, maybe not in a forceful way. Like, you didn't walk up to somebody like, oh, you nigger. You didn't do no shit.
You dumb nigger.
Yeah, you didn't do no shit like that. But like, so a black person cuts you off in traffic and you roll past.
He letting that hoe fly.
Yeah, I knew it. It was a nigger. I knew it the whole time. Look, I don't want to say it, okay, but
again, that kind of goes back to the previous segment. Like, man, where are we going with this?
Right.
Now we got to feel sorry for a rich racist.
Right. Like, I don't feel sorry for you because you left with a severance package, motherfucker.
Nigga, I know you had a golden parachute. Dog. I know they broke you off a few.
Well,
M's.
He's just not the CEO. But when you look at the interview, he still has on a red shirt. So he's still getting that check. You know what I'm saying? He just can't make no decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nigga, that nigga shit. He's steady getting kickbacks.
You know, they always find a way.
Oh, Shaq definitely give him the kickback. He ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? He ain't giving up that part of it. He just giving up like control.
Being the face, being the face. But again, man, this shit is weird, man. I just don't get this shit. Like, dog. First of all, you sound like a jackass. Second, it takes you 20 months to stop saying nigger. I'm sorry, nigger. I know he says it with the heart.
Nigga, it really doesn't matter. Like, it take you to out of all the things to worry about, it took you 20 months to say, okay, I'm not gonna say the N-word anymore.
But you know, you already know when you get the whole they said, why can't we say it thing? It's like, bro, do I have to explain this to you? Like, it's so
yeah.
I mean, like, LP, you got a brother. I'm sure y'all got in an argument. You called him some shit that if somebody else called him, it might be. It's
going down. You say one thing wrong, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Exactly, but you know, it's not the same. It might be the same word.
It's not the same, nigga.
It's like one side has used that word, you know, with malicious intent, pretty much all the time. It was never like a endearing thing. It's never a positive thing if a white person says it to you,
right?
And then on the other side, you know, we might throw it around, but there's a different feeling behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand what it is to be human.
Right.
Like, it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's 3 different twos. 2 can be 2. Yeah. It can be 2 or 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's how it works.
2 or 2.
And it's like, motherfucker, we didn't make this stupid ass English language, so man, you got to deal with this shit.
Right. And like I said, it just again, maybe he has a book coming out. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was like, dude, okay, go away. Like, just leave. It's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, trust me, wherever he goes in society, when he goes out to whatever restaurant or the shopping mall or wherever the fuck he does, he's gonna be okay, right? Ain't nobody gonna run up on him and beat his ass just for saying the N-word, although maybe they should, but ain't nobody just gonna run up on him and do that shit. Hey, you're fine. It's not like you came on this side of the world anyways, dude. Just go away though. But like, go again,
like I said, what prompted him to do this dumb shit? Like I said, I'm not expecting a dumb motherfucker to do smart things, right? Because just because he got a whole bunch of money doesn't make a motherfucker smart. I've met a lot of stupid rich motherfuckers.
Smart dumb niggas.
Yeah. But, you know, what in your mind was like, yeah, I'll come out and say it took me 20 months to stop saying nigga. They gonna feel the majority of the people are gonna feel where I'm coming from.
Right.
Like, no, nigga.
Right. all I knew is it took me one slap as a kid to know not to cuss in front of my mama now. One slap. That's all it took. What you kid, you would think it'd be a little bit easy. Oh, okay, yeah. If I do that, that's not gonna go over well. Let me stop doing it. It's like he's sitting up rocking at night, like, oh, I want to say nigger so bad.
He like Pookie and the motherfucker. What you call it? Saying what the nigga right here on his little shaking and shit.
Y'all seen that scene from that show? It's like the Black Attorneys or whatever. It's like a black law firm, and they had the guy on this. This is a TV show. But they had the guy on like a news interview thing, and the guy on the news interview was asking them, well, why is it black people can say it and white people can't say it? And he was like,
I did see that. Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? Go ahead and say it. Just say it. He was like, you know,
just say it.
Like, yeah, you can. You can say it. Just say it.
Oh, that was the smoothest nigga on the planet, Delroy, right?
Yeah,
Delroy. Yeah, that's the smoothest nigga on the planet. I swear to God, he is. Delroy,
he was like, just say it.
Yeah, just say it.
No, you can say it.
All right, knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Knock yourself. Because then go some furniture finna be moving.
Yeah. Delroy Lindow in my fantasy world. Delroy is God. Russell Wilson is the second coming. Just for the record. Fucking Delroy. Anywho. Segue. I want to preface this by saying the first ever lady in the Vagina Hall of Fame for the Straight Meddling Show.
She came through, didn't she?
Again, this is why we voted for her. Jamal, it was 2 out of 3 votes. She still got in by the hair of her chinny chin chin because you did not believe in the power of her vagina. Okay. Meghan Markle, or the Duchess of Sussex, along with the Duke of Sussex, they recently did an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Again, if you've been hiding up on the rock, the shit was 2 hours. Did I watch all of it? Nah.
I watched none of it because none of that shit was I knew all this shit.
I maybe gave it 15 minutes, right? And so, but nevertheless, they did some revealing things, about the royal family and things of that nature. And it to me, it's shocking that people were actually shocked by some of the shit that it was nothing too revealing, right? She didn't go up and say, well, Queen Elizabeth slapped the shit out of me and called me a spear chucker. Like, it wasn't no shit like that, right?
Or they're eating babies or some shit like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was just like normal, rich, royal people shit. Like,
what the fuck did she think she was marrying into, though?
What the fuck? Okay, that's my point. Why were people shocked? Go ahead, Jamal. Shit.
Yeah,
first, from her perspective, this is the richest, oldest white family on the planet. Like,
literally,
their family was involved in the slave trade. It's just like, what are you expecting? Like,
they killed Jesus.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were there.
No, they were there.
They was there. Oh, yeah.
They're nailing them things.
They were there.
I just don't understand what she thought she was getting into. Now, look, okay, you're married to the royal family. They got like endless money. I get it. But one, it wasn't like she was some street hoe. Like, she already had her own money and career, and I don't think she was going to be hurting for money anytime soon. So,
right.
Now, look, there's a difference between that and endless money. Okay. But
yeah, true.
But at the same time, like, I don't know if she got some friends or something, but somebody should have told her, like, I don't know if this is a family you want to be in. Like, I'm pretty sure they're into some weird shit. So, right. And they're racist. So,
again, like Simon said earlier, they're old. Like, again, it's like, oh, I was born in 1927. I automatically think you're racist.
They think they're better
set up.
Other people.
Yeah,
right.
Like, just
that's the whole premise of royalty.
Right.
I'm better than regular motherfuckers because I'm me.
Right.
Because I was born into this certain family with this certain status. I think we're better. Like, God has bestowed us being better. But again, you look at the royal family, them motherfuckers look evil. Like, just off of their looks, motherfuckers look evil as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't even look like they're nice people. They look evil.
Right. and they haven't had to do it. Like, and part of my shit is like, again, yeah, like you said, Jamal, like, okay, what were you expecting? Part one, part two is like, I still don't get America's infatuation with the royal family. Like, I
hate it.
Like, it makes no sense to me.
It's because they fucking peasants at heart. Like, anybody who was all into that shit, you're a fucking peasant, right?
Right.
You're caring about that shit because you're caring about a bunch of people who are important because they say they're important, right? And by the virtue of the fact that you are, following them every day, you agree with them. That, yeah, they are important. They are royal. They are special. More special than me because they're them.
Right.
It's the weirdest.
It's a mind fuck.
Especially in America. It's like the whole country.
Whatever they do got nothing to do with us. Yeah, and then
even in England, I think it's weird, but at least they have like a history of it or whatever. But the whole point of royals is we're better than you. You're literally, they still call these people their subjects, right? I'm your subject.
That's just one step under nigga.
And what subject means is you're subject to whatever my whims are. That's what all subject ultimately. That's the real meaning of it is. Like whatever I want to do with you, I can do with you because I essentially own you.
Right. That's the goddamn shame. And again, you know, she's marrying into this. Number one, you already knew what you were getting into on that. Now, one thing I will say though, Henry, the Duke. I've watched Bridgerton, so now I feel like I'm sit up here like this all day. But you know, he's always been one to kind of go against the grain, right? And this is part of the reason why we put her in the Vagina Hall of Fame, because I didn't think she was going to make him renounce his throne and move to Zamunda. But at the same time, shout out to Eddie Murphy. Coming to America 2 was fucking hilarious. And so, but I didn't think all that was going to happen. And so with him going against the grain, all of this is starting to make sense, right? It's all starting to make sense as far as, you know, oh, okay, well, they have a different outlook on things. You know, they're going to be a little bit different. You know, number one, he's a ginger. Nobody else in his family is a fucking ginger. You know, then you know, he brought this half breed in here too. And, you know, so I think a lot of what they're going to do will, you know, be kind of going against the grain. At the same time, it's like, is
that baby a half breed? Because she's a half breed, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a core. I mean, regardless.
That white boy that little boy came out rice skinned. Like for that even to be a motherfucking like topic of discussion with them, like what's the baby's complexion going to be? Which is one of the things I've seen was discussed. It was like, really? They seen
Meghan Markle. They seen her mama. They seen her mama and was like, "Oh, wait a minute."
They thought that boy was gonna come out looking like me.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. She walked in there with some dreads and a dashiki on, boy. It was a wrap. Wait a minute. Oh, you weren't further this motherfucker, Michael. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But again, it's that weird infatuation with those weird, because like to me, those are that's the weirdest type of people right there. Like,
right.
Them motherfuckers they got status because they have status. Like, not because they do anything, like, per se, like, to make the world even a better place or anything like that. Not saying, you know, they don't give their donations to a few places and things and shit like that.
Right.
But it's like, what the fuck do they really do? Instead of just, you know, just being, quote, unquote, regal. Like, that's their only niche.
Right. And, so and if you think about it, like, they've never had jobs, right? Like you look at the Queen. She's fucking 90-something years old. Never had a job. You think she's ever had a real conversation with a real person? You know what I'm saying? Like,
doubt it.
Like, how could she? Where was she gonna have that? She's not like just going to the gas station and going in and get a pack of gum.
She doesn't even know what gas is.
Yeah, like she's never pumped in the gas. She's probably never. She may have driven for fun or something like that.
Right.
On a racetrack that she owns. Some shit. Hey, but she's never like, oh, let me drive down a Rite Aid, and that's not happening. Like, no.
I bet you though. Back in the day,
about Amazon Prime. She's had Amazon Prime her whole life since the fucking 40s.
It used to be called Channel 1.
It used to be called "Nigga, don't give me this shit."
Yeah. I bet you back in the day though. I bet you, when she was in her 20s back in 1876. I bet she used to get wild on them. She looked like one that just used to be wild as fuck.
But that's the thing about it. Most of them are like, we're talking about Meghan Markle, and like they were getting on her for all the petty shit. But ain't one of the boys or one of the sons of fucking, like, when he had Epstein Island and shit like that? Shouldn't we be talking about that?
I mean, maybe. Just maybe.
Like, that's the type of shit. Like, yeah. Let's talk about that shit. Where them niggas was fucking little boys. Like, that's where it needs to go. If we're gonna really expose and let's talk about that.
Yeah, Edward. It was Edward.
Yeah.
Homo things.
So, but you gotta think about it, like, and he's not the only one. There's other royals who have gotten caught up in that shit. But they don't, of course, go to jail or anything like that.
No.
So you got to think about the mindset of somebody that knows not only I can do what I want and it's not going to fucking matter, And that's just what it is. Like
it's just what it is.
Like I'm above all that shit. I know that jails and laws or whatever that shit is exist, just not for me.
Yeah, you subjects go deal with them subjects.
Like he did an interview about it. Like if you were caught up in some shit, not shit like that, but just shit in general illegal, you would never do an interview about it at all. Like nothing. Like maybe if I got to go to court, that's the only time I'm talking about some shit I may have done. But
yeah,
you're gonna do an interview which tells me he knew, like, and he almost seemed like in an interview like he wanted to be like he knew he couldn't.
Why am I doing this?
He wanted to be like,
no, he's just kind of rubbing it in the face,
like, and what? Like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was tight.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like that's the type of shit that if you're gonna go after something like this shit right here, it's like this is what Princess Diana said this shit 30 years ago. Like these motherfuckers are fucked up. Like the whole time.
Right.
They racist. All same shit Meghan is saying Diana said 30 years ago. That's why like they can't offer just yet, but damn, they want to.
Oh man, they got rid of Diana ass, boy. That was fucked up, cuz. Got rid of that ass.
Yeah.
But she was also dating somebody who was not white. If you not
he was a Middle Eastern, wasn't he?
He's a Middle Eastern guy.
Mm-hmm. Got his ass too.
He wasn't like just any old dude. His dad was a pretty powerful dude.
Yeah. Got his ass too.
Store or whatever. So
talking about paparazzi in the tunnel, man.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like they're above any type of law. So are we going to investigate that? No, not at all. Not at all. So that's the thing. Like anybody who's getting involved, like we talk over here about getting involved with the Kardashians, how bad that is for your health. But them royals, man, like they've been in a bubble for so long, man. And in that bubble,
been in the bubble.
Yeah, like and in that bubble, like it's not just that they think they're better than everybody. Everybody in their bubble is telling them they're better and serving them, and your highness, this and that, and these are all your ancestors.
Right.
Queen of that, like they think they're better than everybody, and that's why I don't understand why people still are into them. But if you still follow them like that, and you're all into what the royals do, they are better.
You're stupid. You're stupid.
They're better than you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm judging you like all the way. Like if you follow them and shit like that, you're stupid. Especially if you live in Texas, you're just dumb. There.
Yeah, like I said, I never got it, never will. I thought that's why we became America in the first place. Like, man, I thought it was a big middle finger to them. Like, man, fuck y'all.
Right.
But
they still got to pay their Illuminati dues.
Honestly, it's mostly women who, like the whole princess idea of everything and all that. So they get wrapped up into it for that. But it's stupid. It's stupid.
It's dumb.
It's not logical. It's not
the princesses you want to be following.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, real quick, since you brought it up, Jamile, because like you said, it's kind of like the Kardashians over here. If, given obviously, you guys being single, want to preface that. I don't want nobody getting in trouble. If you had a chance to date a Kardashian, would you? Knowing their track record of how they fuck people up, would you?
Well, it's only a few of them. I'm fucking cool. I'm going after Courtney.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. So
she's the most low key.
She's the most low key, knowing, but I'm not gonna get involved. Like this is gonna have to be a quick thing. Like
and if I get her pregnant, she got snapped back.
I wouldn't want to get her pregnant because once you get her pregnant, you in. You can't get out of this thing.
Look,
but I'm just saying.
She take either one of them take you on a $2 million vacation for 3 months. Man, talking about it's gonna be real quick. My ass.
Nah, my boy Reggie Bush got out. He's the only fucking survivor. The only survivor.
Yeah, but he got one that looked just like Kim.
Yeah, he did. He did get a doppelganger.
It don't matter though. He got Kim and he got the hell out of there.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point.
Got out too. What's his name?
She was probably using
married Kim, and then they got divorced too.
Real quick, he played with the Nets.
Yeah. He got out. Exactly. That's my point. He got out too.
He did get out, but there was some touch and go moments with him.
Of course, that's
The only
because
reason he got out was because he was friends with LeBron.
He ain't been in the league since.
If he didn't know LeBron,
he played a few years. He played a few years after that.
He was with
And he was on the most hated. He was on the most hated players in the league list for some odd reason.
Yeah, but he was clutch, man. Rich Paul ain't finna let his boys go down like that.
Nah, oh no, nigga, that's always a clause.
What saved him. I guarantee you, that's what saved him. LeBron was like, "Look, I know you want to like fuck his life up, turn him into a woman or something. No, not this one. Not this one. All right, we're gonna throw you a little something. We got a G League player we can get you, but not this one. Man. He just signed my agency.
Just go eat his soul over here. Yeah. Nobody's gonna miss him.
Yeah, like look, here's a whole season worth of tickets, courtside.
Yeah.
Let him live.
Hey, here's Delonte West. You guys can have him, okay? We go straight to hell. Anyway, segue.
No, you going to hell.
Probably.
I like the bartender. She be serving them drinks.
Sports. Since Simon wanted to talk about,
nigga, that's why we don't. What are you talking about? We haven't talked sports in like a month
because none of the sports have really been kind of like relevant. Like the Super Bowl came and went. Phrasing, nice Saturday night. But it's a lot of regular season.
We still got. Don't act like this shit doesn't fucking move the needle. Where when we're talking sports, this shit does happen. This nigga shit. Transactions are always happening every day.
Yes,
motherfucking Saints over there finagling the fuck out of the cap right now. Ain't cutting nobody, but niggas is restructuring and doing this. And they saving 20 on this one and 5 on this move and 2 on this move.
They are. And for the record, I love the moves that we made. Obviously, I don't want to get rid of Gabe or Richie. LaMarcus Jones could have been going.
Richie they say he's gonna sign back.
He ain't re-signed yet, but again, I like
nigga, the new league season hasn't started yet. Nigga,
what does it start? The 11th?
No, what's today? The 9th. It starts, I think, the 17th.
All right. Well,
if I'm not mistaken.
Before we get into football, let's talk NBA All-Star game that just happened this past weekend. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because, again, with COVID and the bubble and all these different sporting events and things like that, I think they're starting to find a new nucleus, if you will, right? Because how that All-Star game went out with everything being on one day, I think you can make a very good case of going forward, even after COVID and crowds coming back and things like that. I think you can make a very good case of that happening every year, where you at a certain time, you start this, then you do this, and depending on the dunk contest, I don't think the best dunkers in the league are going to be doing the dunk contest again ever, right? But do the dunk contest, doing halftime, let the players rest a little bit, come on out there and enjoy the shit, finish up the rest of the game. I thought that format for one day was damn good. And it just, because there's no need in watching it Friday. Then, I got to come back, watch it again Saturday for this. And then, I got to come back again, watch it Sunday for this.
But they were trying, it was called All-Star Weekend, so they were trying to take advantage of the whole weekend.
Sure. But again, I mean, save money, make money. I mean, I don't know, the numbers, what the numbers look like on Friday nights for the NBA or Saturday nights for the NBA. But again, hey, I think get it all done in one night, man. I think everybody goes home happy. You know what I mean?
It cuts a lot of the fluff out that that unnecessary bullshit that they have with the celebrity game. I'm not saying that shit is not somewhat entertaining. Sometimes it is, but most of them motherfuckers can't hoop no way. So man, what the fuck are we watching a fucking rec league game? Just because we know these motherfuckers' names.
They had the best ratings that they've maybe ever had. I rated everything, even that bullshit Royal shit that was going on.
Right.
So, but I think that's because, like, when you have all these different, you got this event, and then you got the rookie sophomore game, and then you got the celebrity game, and then you got the dunk contest, then you got a skills challenge, then you got, it's like, you start splitting the audience. Like,
right,
people are not that interested in all that shit. They
right.
Check in here and there, whatever. And then by the time you get to the game, it's like, all right, I mean, let's finish.
Sensory overload type shit.
It is. It really is.
So they might actually have stumbled onto some shit where it's like, get all this shit out in one day, and boom, we good. So that's there for the players too, because I used to always, and Chris Paul used to talk about this, like he was like, nigga, this is a lot.
Right.
It was like for the players to be going from this event to that event to that event.
Right. It's not really a vacation.
Interviews here, we got to play this game and that game, and then do this challenge. He was like, man, look, this is supposed to be an all-star break, and I understand we got to promote the game. Right. But at the same time, like, you got
like, I want to chill.
All come back exhausted. So
right. Oh, so just because I'm playing good, I'm rewarded by having to do extra work. Meanwhile, Tim Hardaway Jr. sitting at the crib.
Yeah, that's why them niggas ain't got a whole week off. They didn't got a whole week off. But games don't start back up until Friday.
Man.
Look, listen, I done told you. Listen, Tim Hardaway Jr., same thing I said about Harrison Barnes, man. They're great guys. They're solid NBA players. Again, I hope he has a long career. I promise you. I truly do. He got to get the fuck off my team, though, because I need him to be 2 or 3, and he's more like a 4 or 5, right? I can almost promise you Tim Hardaway Jr. will get a championship by the time he retires. It's just not going to be with the Mavericks, him being the second or third option. Not going to happen, buddy. Not. Go to the Spurs. Fuck it. They'll find a way.
Spurs always know how to use them all.
They find a way. They find a way.
Nah, he got to go back to the Heat, man. He got to go back to the Heat.
Tim Hardaway Jr. never
go to the Heat.
Tim Hardaway Jr. never played for the Heat.
Tim Hardaway did, though.
Oh, yeah, you got to go back where him Pappy played. Yeah, fuck all that. Anyways. But, yeah, so like I said, the one night I think was good. And
the game kind of went the way I thought it was.
Yeah, you have Steph and Dame. Yeah, Steph and
Dame
on
the same team.
Oh my God, them motherfuckers! Look here, you want to talk about a shoot? You remember because you were here when we were watching it. Man, there's no way
they put on the shooting. Yeah, that shooting display was a sight. That was a sight to see. Yeah, that was a sight to see. Even regardless of they weren't playing no deep, like they were pulling up one step in from half court and like shooting them with ease. And it was a marvelous thing. Like, holy shit.
Holy shit. Like,
it was.
I don't think you need a 4-point line. Like, never do that. But
yeah. But if they institute one, I can see why. Yeah. Like, even how Dame ended the game, because you knew as soon as if Steph missed, you knew he was gonna make it.
Exactly. And he pulled up, down.
And it was just like shout out to his wristwatch that he got coming out too.
Jesus Christ! I mean, shit, you might as well capitalize on it. Dang time, baby, let's go.
Let's go.
But hey, here's the deal, though. Hey, Milwaukee, you have a problem because Giannis.
That motherfucker should not have won the MVP. What the fuck?
He had 30 some odd points and he did not miss a shot. Milwaukee.
Nigga, they were all dunks.
Listen, I'm talking to Milwaukee right now. Milwaukee Bucks. Here's the deal: if you put the right team around Giannis, damn it, you're gonna win a championship. He's never gonna miss a shot.
Well, this is how I feel about Giannis, and like I think he's a overhyped number 1. I think he's really a number 2.
Mm-hmm. That's how I thought. You put the right pieces around him, he won't miss a shot.
Yeah, but it has to be it got to be somebody that is going to be more dominant, quote unquote, than him in a way where it's like, no, the tempo goes as this player goes, not as Giannis goes. Because Giannis' tempo it's only great for the regular season. It's not great for the postseason.
So like the thing with him is in the postseason, first of all, you're playing pretty much all good defenses. Right. When you get past the first round. Every team is a good defense, and they're not just gonna let you get to the rim. Like, even if you're cold as hell like Giannis, you're not getting to the rim. They're gonna build that wall and they're gonna make fucking Pat Connaughton beat them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So really, to Simon's point, what they really need is like another ball handler who's a dominant ball handler. Like a perfect fit for him would be like a Luka type player, where he can do so many things to open it up where you can't focus on Giannis in the playoffs. And as soon as you take your focus off him, now I'm one-on-one. Yeah, there ain't too many that can handle him one-on-one. But with the way the Bucks have it is like the ball is in his hands most of the time in those situations where we can build a wall and keep you from the rim. And
only time the wall works, huh, baby? Yeah, that's the only time you want to build a wall, baby.
So, but yeah, so they need like another dominant ball handler. I mean, who knows? Maybe Holiday will be that guy for them. I don't know.
Come on to Dallas. Come on to Dallas.
This is my thing about Giannis, and it's like, again, he's a great player and great athlete and everything like that. But man, he just needs to add more to his game. His game is like, again, the playoffs show you the shortcomings of quote unquote great players. And like that's why they got rolled by Miami last year, and the year before that they got beat by Toronto and them, and you know the list goes on with them getting knocked out when they're not supposed to because they're the number one seed. And
they're getting beat by teams that go to the finals. And
I'm not saying obviously they're losing to great teams. I'm not saying that, but they're getting rolled by great teams. Like when Miami beat them last year, they beat their ass. It was
beat their ass.
It was like, nigga, this is just like, the fuck? Didn't y'all win 60 or 50 plus games or however many games y'all won? So it's like, when is he gonna learn that, hey, maybe I do need a post-up game? Nigga, you are 7 foot. Like, you can't play with your back to the basket. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta be Shaq down, but damn, get an up and under. I got an up and under.
Right.
Hey, come on, man. Let's work. Let's get on your footwork, shit.
Man, fuck that.
That's all nice, but it may not matter, man, because them Nets, they loading up, baby. Let's do it.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk sports, man. So I mean, everybody's seeing it. I mean, they just signed Blake. They're rumored to sign
Andre Drummond.
If he got out by Cleveland. So it's one of those, like, to me, it's weird. It went from, because last year the whole narrative was like there's balance in the league again. You don't know who's gonna win it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
and then that fucking guy did it again.
That fucking guy wins one, and then it goes to unbalanced again.
Right.
Like now it's a goddamn arms race, and I'm, yes, I gotta stick up for him because he plays for my favorite team, but it's weird that happens as soon as the motherfucker wins one. I thought it was all about balance.
Let me ask you this though. Since Andre Drummond is in Cleveland right now, right? And waiting on the buyout, or
that's all it is, man.
Do you think that Dame Gilbert and company are like, we'll buy you out, but you have to promise us you ain't going to the Lakers?
No, what the fuck does that got to do with anything? That's the business. I get what you're saying, but I don't even think you could put those type of stipulations on some shit like that. I'm not
necessarily sure.
I will pay you to get your ass drove, because I gotta pay you anyways. I will pay you to get your ass drove.
All you have to do is say yeah, and then go sign with him. Like, it's not like he can't stop you.
Right.
Even if you had to agree to that, there's nothing to hold you to that once the papers are signed.
Right.
I'd be like, yeah, I won't go to the Lakers.
And go to the Lakers. Because the thing is, he would be a perfect fit for the Lakers. Because one thing the Lakers did lose from last year was athleticism as a big man. Because with Dwight leaving and McGee he's in Cleveland as well. There's like I said, Marcus, he's cool. He's a savvy vet, but Jesus, man, when the game is like this.
Oh yeah, you got to take him out. You got to take his ass smooth the fuck up out of there.
At least with McGee and they can run the floor, they can jump, and they're that rim runner where, because this year with AD being out, I can't even remember the last time the Lakers threw a lob.
Right. And also shout out to Doc Rivers too for making sure his players didn't play in the All-Star game on Sunday too. You know,
he got them niggas up out of there.
Good job, Doc. Good job, buddy. Maybe you'll get another one here very soon. You know, maybe you'll get another one very soon.
Hey, quietly kept them niggas playing well.
Yeah, and it's kind of like finally getting to that point where they're kind of reaching that potential. And they've been good like the last 2-3 years. Like they've been a good team, but now you're kind of starting to see what you kind of hope to see out of, especially Embiid. And then Simmons is
he been killing.
Yeah, so it's gonna be for once in the East is gonna be some dogs at least at the top.
Well, yeah. Well, honestly, I don't like if we were to make a prediction today. I don't know who would come out of the East. Like
to me, it's health based. Like
okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like
because Durant's still not healthy.
Yeah, like if you don't have Durant healthy or Kyrie is not whatever, they probably can survive Kyrie because they got Harden. But to get there, but they might need Kyrie to win it to help them.
Yeah, it'll help them put them over the top. It'll help them put them over the top.
But yeah, it's definitely them two teams at the top, man. They loading up. But
because now we can finally say is Boston Fugazi now. Like, I'm not saying that. I don't think that. Like, I think they're Tatum and Jaylen Brown are good players, but is it time? Yeah. Is it time to just kind of say like, nah, they're not exactly what we thought they were. Don't get me wrong. They're skilled players.
Right.
Over.
It's a combination of everything. It's a combination of everything. Like one thing I will give Danny Ainge credit for is like he always tries to find something, right? And he gave them a few years. And he even blamed himself this past offseason. He's like, hey, look, man, it's me. It's all me. But it's a combination of Danny Ainge, trying to make shit work. And then Brad Stevens, let's just start calling him overrated as a coach. And then
because he was the boy genius for what 2 years or so.
Right.
Talking about, I think we had that conversation at one point where people were like putting him up there like Popovich, Brad Stevens, Eric Spoelstra. I'm like, what has he done?
The fuck has he done?
Just because he won a couple series, that doesn't mean.
Yeah, you didn't even win in Butler. What was he? Was he at Butler? Shit, like you didn't win there.
We had Gordon Hayward. At Butler.
And Gordon Hayward missed that Hail Mary shot at the end of the game to win the game. That's like his saving grace right now.
Right.
Yeah, but Boston won that swap out they did Kemba for Kyrie. That has not worked out for them.
Right.
Kemba hasn't been horrible, but he's got a knee thing going on. So it's just
it's hard. It's hard to have a veteran point guard that really truly isn't a point guard, right? Like that's why you can plug and play Chris Paul into anywhere. He's a veteran point guard that he will be able to do whatever role he needs to do. But Kemba Walker isn't that type. He's like a Baron Davis. He's like a Baron Davis type of point guard. Yeah,
he's a scorer, but you already have two scorers.
Right. Yeah. You don't need him to do you need him to distribute the ball, calm the young niggas down, and keep it moving. But and
get that bucket when the team needs that bucket.
Right. It's okay if Kemba Walker ends the game with 5 points and 13 assists. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's the type of thing he needs to play.
He like that's an excellent voice because I think Kemba's still trying to average like I gotta average like 17 to be effective. Like no need to average 10 points, 9 and 5 rebounds, and that's probably when you be your most effective.
Right, exactly. And like I said, I didn't think Boston was going to make any noise anyways. One thing with the trade deadline coming up too here soon, I don't remember the exact date, but look out for where Kyle Lowry goes. If he goes anywhere, look out for where he goes because
they're talking about him to the Clippers. I think that's what I saw. Which is what they need because are we finally going to say that?
I don't know what.
I love Pat Beverly as a dog. Like he's a dog on the court, but the nigga is not that good. Like I'm not. You got your money out. Like nigga, you're not a point. You're just like an overrated 3-and-D guy that got your money.
Right.
And it's like, man, I'm happy you got your money, but it's like, nigga, outside of playing defense, which he doesn't do well like he used to anymore. He just fouls.
Yeah, he's scrappy. He's scrappy.
Yeah, he's scrappy as fuck, and you're not making your shot. It's like the only reason you out here is because they paying you what $20 million a year.
Right.
Because if they were paying you $2 million, nigga, you would be at the end of the bench.
That's the Tyrone Lue special.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna trade him, and the main reason is he's been such a big part of a franchise. At this point, with only half a season left on his contract, you're not gonna get anything that's so great that you just want to like throw that away. You know,
right.
So like you're gonna get a second round pick, or maybe if you're lucky, a late first, which is a second round pick.
But is it a okay?
Now, if you want to give me a player, like Clippers got one or two young players who are decent, who they don't really play because they got so many like vets.
Right.
If you want to give me one of them young dudes,
plus the draft, plus the pick.
But do you give it? Do you give it up
for 30 games?
Do you give it up? Do you give it up for Fred Van? Because Toronto is basically on some we're a part of the Van Vliet game right now. You know, let's
let him pay them.
I think they just play it out, man. I think they just play it out. Let the man finish because he deserves it. Like, this is true. This is true. Where you win a title, you want like 300 Lakers to win a title. No, nigga. you are Toronto. You help bring us our own.
Like nigga, he's always gonna have a home there.
Yeah. And this is after years of them clowning him because he had a horrible playoff performance to have just a magical playoff.
I was part of that because he would always get the yips. It was weird to him because it was like, dog, I know you're a solid player. There was a point when he was about to hit the free agent market that I wanted him on the Lakers, and it was just like. But like when you saw his playoff performance, it's like this shit doesn't correlate, bro. Yeah, this doesn't correlate like that. Are you overthinking this? Because you're everybody had the same like opinion about Lowry. Like this nigga is good. So not like he's a terrible player.
What you say, Miles? Giving the 30 games with the Clippers,
yeah, like I don't think it's because you gotta think about it. First of all, from Toronto perspective, your other championship star is already on the Clippers. Like, you gotta have some pride as a man. I'm just gonna give you all my fucking.
I'm not gonna give you these cats.
All my championship MVP type dudes. I'm not giving you all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, should we trade you Siakam too? You want him? Anunoby, you want him too? Clippers. So I think from that perspective, you're not gonna trade him to the Clippers, and you don't have another star to like hang your hat around as far as that championship team because Kawhi was just he's just a hired gun. Basically, he's not coming back for no reunion and no shit like that. Like Kyle Lowry is all you have as far as star. So
and DeRozan whenever they just retire his number.
Yeah, let him finish his 30 games. If you want to resign, fine. If not, and you want to go elsewhere after that, that's fully within your right. So I think you just let him finish it out because it's just not worth it for what you're gonna get.
Right.
Now, if you're gonna give me something really valuable, okay.
Well, say if you give me Paul George in return, I'll give you Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, sure. You ain't doing that. That actually might be a decent trade, though.
Maybe, just maybe. So yeah, football.
I mean, but we act like America is not based off the calendar. They don't base their calendar off of football. It's like when football is on and then when football is off. So I mean,
Sundays are different. Sundays are very different.
Yeah, we were having that discussion on Sunday when I was over at the crib. That is like, damn, this has been a dry ass day until this motherfucking kind of all-star start kicking. Motherfucker, I walk in the house. This motherfucker was real Republican watching NASCAR and shit.
I was.
Bobby, I want to go fast.
Fuck it. Let's go, baby. Shit. I was watching NASCAR like a motherfucker. I kissed my ass.
But football, the only thing I'm even thinking about, because right now teams are all sorting their shit out.
Because everybody's trying to get under the cap.
But what I'm looking at is Russell Wilson and Watson really going to get traded? Because it's like, for me, looking at it, I can't ever imagine as a GM doing that. Like, no, I don't care if you're upset. You're going to play upset for 5 years.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's the G. And you got to me, you got to kind of look at it like this in a way. I don't think this is how I feel about Watson in particular right now. Then we'll go to Russell. I don't think Watson is ever playing for the Texans again. And when I say that,
financially though,
I really think he will sit out this year. I think he'll take that L as far as like not playing and doing it off of principle and all that shit. Take all the flack that he needs to take because it's all made up flack anyway. Because it's always motherfuckers. It's all motherfuckers that are not connected to the Houston Texans. Because once the locker room, and we've seen this shit already. Once the locker room was like, yeah, well, he right, and like, well, Watson, motherfucking Andre Johnson, and all these kind of big names of the franchise was like, no, Deshaun Watson is right. I think he's setting his ways as like, yeah, fuck y'all. I'll take this L for this year.
Right.
Sit out. I'm 24, 23, 24. So nigga,
I already got the big deal. So
yeah, I got my deal. I got a no trade clause. So it's like, what can you really threaten me with? And the only thing you think that is gonna make me come back is, oh, I gotta go play. Like, no, everybody's already said, nah, this is business. You handle what you need to do business wise, and we'll play ball. But with Russell, this can go either way, because it's weird that
Russell isn't gonna miss any games because that's not his personality, right?
Yeah, it's not on brand for him.
Right.
And then with Russell, he's playing.
Talks about Russell than Watson right now.
Yeah.
Well, because you got to look at it with Seattle too. Seattle again with the Legion of Boom, they got rid of all of them motherfuckers. Yeah, with the exception of Wagner and shit. But they you can go, you can go, you can go, you can go.
Well, Chancellor got hurt. He left.
You can go, you can go, you can go, you can go. They did everybody like that.
But the Legion of Boom was really the secondary, and once secondary, and speaking from an old secondary player, yeah, we can get inside our own heads and y'all fuck everybody type shit. But with Russell, it's not on brand for him to miss games and shit like that. But
right.
I thought it was funny of who the teams he actually said he would be, willing to go to.
Right.
He said the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Bears. To me, this was like a 50-50. This sounded like some marriage shit. Like two franchises that their quarterback situations in flux with the Bears and New Orleans, and then two other franchises with their quarterback is not in question. But would you make the deal? Would it be really worth making the deal for him to bring him in, taking on his paycheck, giving up the assets you have to give up, and quarterback is quote unquote not your biggest problem? So it was like you had to kind of think about that. It's like,
yeah, good point. That is a good point.
More football reasons, which I feel like Chicago and New Orleans, and I think those were Russell's picks, and two of them were Sierra's picks as far as market wise. Like if
come on, man, don't give Mary Magdalene that much credit.
Listen to me. You're trying to cut me off before you even hear the whole.
Because I know where you're going with it.
No, listen. What do you mean? No, if Russell Wilson and Sierra go to Vegas, you don't think them as a power couple, him on the field and her in some Vegas fucking casino ain't fucking tearing up the strip? You're fucking losing your mind.
We saw how that went with Carmelo and Honey Nut Cheerios, and we see that did not work out the right way.
Again, don't try to put what other motherfuckers do with them. That's apples to oranges, man. They're actually they went into it with a plan. That plan got fucked up, but them motherfuckers are still together right now, right?
Yeah. Oh, who? Honey Nut Cheerios now?
Yeah.
Questionable. Nice titties though.
Yeah, exactly. But my thing is, I feel that it was all a business. Obviously, it was a power move by Russell that he could say that shit because he has a no trade clause. But he knew 2 of those teams they're not going to give up the assets to get him and still have all the holes in their team.
And to your point, yeah, Chicago and New Orleans does make sense just because, I mean, Jamal, I mean, do you really want Taysom Hill as your quarterback or Russell?
No.
Right. And then Chicago obviously has a quarterback problem. They've been having that same problem for 58 years. And, Dallas obviously being the big market. Dallas being the big market that it is, but obviously they made their commitment at this point. Shout out to Dak.
I want to say
that money.
I mean, got that bag, and motherfuckers. This is what I want to say to everybody. Motherfuckers laughed at Dak for turning down the 5-year deal last year. They laughed at him. Why are you turning down this money? Dak got exactly what he wanted the next year.
After he
money up, worth 40. I see he worth 40 now. When the new TV deal hits,
right?
It's chess, not checkers.
Plus you got to add in that franchise money he got last year, that $35 million.
Right.
He's gonna in these 2 years he's gonna clear $105 million. 2 years.
Man, come on. You gotta give this shit done. God damn.
I saw the play. I saw it.
Man.
If he was franchised this year, it would have taken it down to what, like 89, 90?
Right. He still would have got 35 in. And like for teams like that, like for example, Jamal, your team, well, Drew Brees, I guess is coming, but you're like you're in that kind of influx, right? And it's like, look, man, when you have a good quarterback, a good solid quarterback that doesn't fuck shit up, you have to pay him that money regardless. Because like I say, you guys are stuck in an influx right now in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it different. Like I look at the Raiders as being, because I mean the Raiders have some holes. Like he talking about Seattle defense, like the Raiders got some issues too.
Right, on defense.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's looking at the Raiders as 2 things. One, I get to stay close to where I'm already at, West Coast, North California, right below Seattle.
Right.
Right below Seattle. So that's one pro. Like you ain't got to move too far. You can still get back to whatever house he currently has on the weekends or whenever you got time, right? And then 2 is on the strength of John Gruden. Like you got a real coordinator, right?
People are sleeping on how many players really like John Gruden.
Yeah. I don't think if it was, Vic Fangio there that he would be interested in the Raiders, right? I think mainly a play on I believe John Gruden to put me in the right spot, right?
He's quarterback friendly.
Yeah, the same thing. Like Sean Payton, you probably even better, right? As far as and the thing about Sean Payton, he always prioritizes protecting. Like all 5 of the Saints linemen are first round picks. All 5. Right. So he always prioritizing. If you look at the sack numbers, like they barely give up sacks. Like I mean, there's been seasons where they've given up 9 sacks, 6 sacks.
God,
season.
Damn.
Right. So I think he's looking at that, looking at the weapons, Mike Thomas, Kamara, all them boys, and saying, okay, I can do something with that. Plus, they have a good defense. They're probably the most complete team of the
Saints probably got the best top to bottom roster in the league. Like that's not even boosting. Like the motherfuckers are good at damn near every spot.
Side note: when I see Sean Payton do like this, when he reading that, what you got to go? Touchdown, baby! Here come a touchdown! Touchdown! Here it come! Right now! Oh, 6! Yeah, he getting them every time.
So I think that's what he's looking for, and it's a ready-made team for him. Like he can step in that bitch, and they ready to go. Chicago, they got a nice little defense. We know they struggle on offense,
right?
Especially at quarterback. And they might be able to keep Allen Robinson if they get Russell Wilson.
They tagged him.
They tagged him? Man, let that man go. He don't want to be there.
Why would you tag a wide receiver?
Because that motherfucker cold.
Yeah, and the thing is, here's the thing. Like for them, if you want to get Russell Wilson, you probably should keep him. Right?
Yeah.
There's no reason, there's no point in trading for him and letting Robinson go. That makes no sense.
Yeah, your best outside weapon league.
This keeps them in that sweepstakes. Cowboys, I think, was more of a play on being the Cowboys quarterback. And you do know the Cowboys are always going to go for it, even though they don't get there a lot. They miss a lot. They don't draft particularly well, all that kind of stuff. They do hit on some picks, but they also miss on a lot of picks. Like
a lot of
they've been
them,
trying to fix their secondary for 20 years. So
ever since Dion left.
But you know they're gonna try. They will try. You know what I'm saying? So
A for effort.
Hey,
this is gonna be the biggest deal in the like Russell Wilson as a Cowboys quarterback will be the biggest deal in the NFL. So,
man, you put Russell Wilson in, with the star on the side of his helmet, it's a wrap, dog. You can count it. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap.
And again, these and it might sound bad to these Cowboys. They are in the early stages of Al Davis syndrome with Jerry Jones, where he's going for the home run. He's like I said, it's hit or miss. It's not gonna. He ain't trying to hit no doubles. He ain't trying to load the bases up and bring the runners in.
Going for it.
He's going for the grand slam. Like every shot is a home run swing, and that's the gift and the curse of that, of him, the ego and him being. Because one thing we can all kind of agree on, like Jerry Jones knows football, obviously, right?
Right.
But there's things that, like, even with this Dak deal, he overpaid Dak. If he would have done this deal 2 years ago, Dak's contract right now would be middle of the road quarterback money.
Remember he won 25.
Hey, but yeah, because the reality is they did try to get this deal done a couple of years ago.
They didn't prioritize.
Well, Dak smartly told them, "Fuck off, go pay Zeke."
No, when Dak told them "fuck off" was at the end of 2 years ago when he switched agencies to some big firm that got him this money.
Right.
When he did that,
that was when they re-signed Zeke, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get Zeke this shit.
But that was that. But see, they did it ass backwards. That was ass backwards. You're supposed to prioritize the quarterback first because you know he's going to take the biggest chunk of the cap. Get him out of the way so you can play with the rest of the money. When they signed D-Law, him, Cooper, and all these motherfuckers was just like, nigga, what the fuck are y'all thinking? I'm not saying them niggas ain't good, but you're prioritizing the wrong people. Because Dak is the one that keeps everything level.
With Dak, they ran into a brick wall. That's what they did. Like he was just like, nope.
No, that happened. That happened after they did all those other deals. That's kind of what made Dak go to the big agency. It's like, well, if you're gonna do it this way, all right. Well, now because it went from him being with that mom and pop, fucking agency where it's a handshake and a good drink and some shit like that, and we got a deal to it. Like, no, if this shit ain't in no paperwork, nigga, I don't know what the fuck you were talking about. We could have had strippers and everything at the motherfucking hotel, but if it wasn't no paperwork signed, nigga, I don't know what the fuck you saying.
Right.
Yeah, Jared gambled on this one and he lost. Like
he lost.
He was waiting for because like when you have a player like that, especially a guy who was a lower draft pick, so he hasn't really made money. If you blew him away up front, which would have been blown away for the time, like 25, 26.
Right.
Everybody would have been like, oh, that's overpaying. You would kill to pay him 25, 27, 28 right now, right? So
the Raiders are paying Derek Carr $19
million for other players that you could sign. So but he thought, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. You kept drafting cold ass receivers. You thought his numbers was going down? Like you just keep drafting receivers thinking his numbers going to drop.
And that's another thing too. Like so some Cowboys fans, again, whatever Cowboys fans, but they were upset that Dak went out there and got the bag, like because we overpaid. Yeah, you did kind of overpay, but at the same time, trust me, as a Raider fan, and until Derek Carr got there, Trust me, you don't want to go through 15 years of a lull of not having a fucking quarterback. It is the worst fucking feeling of all time. We had a quarterback that is now a fucking, well, not even now, he's a fucking wide receiver. Then we had fat ass Jamarcus Russell in between that time too. Old ass Jeff Jordan. Like you don't want to go through that 15 to 20 year lull of not having a quarterback. Trust me.
Yeah, so my whole thing with Cowboy fans are upset at this signing. Like, what was your plan B? What were you gonna go? You're hitching your wagon to this Russell Wilson bullshit. Like, dog, this is right now in the offseason. This is the time of lies, and the lies are flying. The lies are flying. Everybody's moving here and that, this, that, and the third. Like, nah, man, that shit. You're holding yourself to a pipe dream. What was your real plan after this?
Right.
Like, there's no other plan. Yeah. Like, you got a quarterback that's not going to fuck it up. And you don't understand there's not many game-changing, like, generational type quarterbacks out there like you think there is.
No.
Like, right now, there's Brady, Wilson, Mahomes, Deshaun, maybe.
Stop.
Deshaun,
no, you stop right there.
Exactly.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers.
No, not Aaron Rodgers is defining generational defining.
And the problem they had,
he's won 3 MVPs. He's that cold. But outside of that,
the move you could have made was like trading Dak for Watson, which would really be bailing Houston out, or Wilson. But the problem is they are both already paid, so
they're paid.
You're gonna be paying anyway. So it's like
you're gonna pay, and you gotta give up those
more. With Watson, you're paying even more per season,
right?
And with Wilson, it's like you're paying like $5 million less, but you're getting a quarterback who's like 6 years older, which isn't bad. He got plenty of good tread left on that tire, but Dak is way younger. You got a decade or more that you can have with him, and it's just
and the assets you would have to give up to get that said player.
You're still giving up a first rounder, a couple of
You're giving up multiple.
Yeah.
Nigga, if Matthew Stafford went for 2, nigga, you gotta give up at least 3 and a player for one of those guys. And it's not no back end. Like, you're gonna have to give up 3 or 4 picks, and your best defensive player, your best offensive player outside of your quarterback. Because you're going to have to swap quarterbacks.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, switching gears here real quick, because obviously Tom Brady's coming back next year, and I saw a report earlier about him wanting to have Odell Beckham on the squad now. Is that an overload for Tampa Bay? Because keep in mind, Bruce Arians doesn't have to prove anything anymore. Tom Brady definitely doesn't have to prove anything anymore. Byron left with, Steph Curry said this shit the other day. I don't have to prove anything, but I want to accomplish a lot more, right? And would that be, and obviously this is just rumor mill shit at this point, but would that be too much for Tampa Bay?
Yes. In the mere fact,
you already have dogs who have helped you win the Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
Why are you bringing in somebody who's going to want to, like, if I'm Mike Evans, I'm looking around like, hey, bitch, I'm the number 1 receiver here. Why is it we have to sign every other fucking receiver that hits the market? Like, hey, am I not good like Will Smith?
Right.
Oh, you don't want me, man.
It would be overload, but one thing Tom Brady has shown that he's excellent at kind of managing egos, because even this year when you had Mike, Godwin, and AB, you never really saw no clashing. Even when they were going through their lull in the middle of the season, there was never no, like, nothing ever hit the wire, like, motherfuckers upset on targets or this, that, and the third. But I would think it would be overloaded. In mere fact, it's like, that's not what you need at this point. Like, running back or this or that. Like, let's go after prioritizing what we really need. And I get it. Tom Brady said he wanted to do the shit, so If he says go, they're at least going to look into it.
You got to.
But I think Cleveland.
But what are you going to trade? Like, I would rather draft a young guy than bring in Odell. Like,
off of injury as well. I'm not saying Odell ain't going to come back, but this is my thing.
But why pay all that money? Well, go ahead. I'll let you go for it.
Yeah, and I think this is what I said. I think Cleveland really saw what Odell's value was in the playoffs when they lost to who the hell they lose? Kansas City, where they couldn't get they didn't have anybody that could go 90.
Right.
And Odell, whenever he touches the ball, I don't give a fuck how you feel about him or whatever. Whenever he touches the ball, you never know what this motherfucker will do. As far as he can take a hitch and go 85 in a blink of an eye. And they had nobody on the field that could do that. They had no game changer. They had a lot of solid ass players. Not saying they don't, but they didn't have that game changing player.
Right.
And that's why I feel they saw that. Even Odell's probably saw it's like, oh, these motherfuckers still need me because they need that extra oomph to get over the top.
Yeah, I just don't, because you're gonna have to give up something good for him, like a first or a second or something. It's like you can bring in a young player that's gonna help you for years to come. I know Tom Brady, everything is about next year because it's probably gonna be his last one. I'm pretty sure the league is fitting to concuss his ass up out of here.
You know, they're gonna have to drag him up out of there.
Oh, he will be drugged up out of there. Trust me. If you play in the NFL long enough, you will be drugged up out of there. No, there are no exceptions. They don't care. It's Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Brett Favre, all carted off the field their last time. So, you know. Anyway, but it just doesn't last year, okay, you had Evans, Godwin, but first of all, Evans and Godwin had been there together, and then you brought in Brown, who was just trying to get his shit back together as far as his career. Yeah. So it wasn't like he was gonna come in there like, oh, I got to get 100 balls. Like, you just trying to have a nice season and play football again.
Hit some incentives and keep him moving.
Yeah, and so I mean, I would either want to bring him back because I think that's the right mix. He's towards the end of his career. Nobody's about to make him a number one option again, mainly because he's not reliable enough in terms of his personality. Like, you don't want to be counting on him showing up on Sunday.
Right.
Showing up, I mean, like, literally getting to the stadium. I don't mean like showing up as far as, you know, playing well. He's gonna
once he's on the field, he good, but boy, everything in between then.
So I think I would run that back, especially since it's such a short-term thing, right? If Brady was a little younger and had 3-4 years left, maybe. But it's like, why don't we use our draft picks on young players that can help now and then just bring AB back for another year, you know, and we'll see what happens after next year. You know, if Brady retires, we're done with AB and you can move on with your life. So I just don't think it's necessary. And I think Simon made a good point. I think the Browns need Odell. I don't think they're so good that they can just walk away from him because Landry's nice, but he's a chain mover, not a game breaker, you know?
Yeah. And that's what aggravated me last year so much that, you know, they call Cleveland is better with Odell. It's like, nigga, when are you better with when is this team better with when an all-pro is not on the team, like out injured? That makes no sense. Don't get me wrong, their flow got significantly smoother, but
it wasn't his issue. It was y'all issue.
Yeah, it was one of those like they may have
made a great run with him on the field. He just got hurt, so
exactly. I think it was finally like the roles were finally starting to define themselves. Like, because I felt like when we all called,
Baker started playing better as well.
Yeah, because he knew he understood his role. Like, man, just distribute the ball to these players and let them work. I don't have to be the superstar. Like, I'm the quarterback, so I'm gonna get money and shine and all that shit regardless. I don't have to be the super. I don't always have to make the winning play. Just make the play. So I think they started understanding that more. And again, it's like, you don't get better when you subtract an all-pro. And it's like now I think they understand what each player's role is, and they're, you know, adding and subtracting guys that are needed. Like, even in the backfield with Chubb and geez, his name is slipping my memory.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, him, Chubb and Hunt. That
my point.
They understood the back and forth of where they were. Like, okay, if you're hitting, like, just let him go for a while until he's not. Then I'll come in and relieve you, and I'm full bore. And it's like, damn, you're dealing with two number ones, but they understand, how to counter off each other because both of them damn near had 1,000. Chubb had 1,000, and Kareem Hunt had like 1,000 total yards this year. It's like, that's a great tandem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think they understood, like, Cleveland, you're a running team. You got a better O-line. Like, you're a running team. Everything is better off the play action. And the motherfucker that you want off of play action at receiver is Odell Beckham. Because if it's off of play action, he's most likely going to be one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can cover that motherfucking one-on-one.
No. Now, obviously, too early to make predictions for NFL season because ain't nothing really happened other than some cuts, and the new season hasn't started yet. But I will say this: I am intrigued by the season that's coming up next year. Definitely was not expecting Tampa Bay to win this motherfucker this last year. Jamile, we know how you feel. At the same time. But I am intrigued. Again, I think there's a lot of different teams that I think can win it this year. That's how this shit started last year too. But obviously, yeah, we'll see. Like, honestly, good job this year, NFL. Again, kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the NBA, with the All-Star game being on one day. Hey, look, NFL, just get rid of the preseason. I get it. The ones that need to make the team, but hey, look.
Aren't they going to 17 this year? 17 regular season?
They're supposed to.
They were supposed to go this year.
I hate that.
No, they were supposed to go. It was always for this year.
There's one thing I never think when we get to the last week of the season is we need another week. Like, I never think that.
Get me to the play. Like I said that earlier when we were texting about sports earlier. Just get me to the playoffs. Let's go. Okay. Now I get it, bubble teams and all this other shit. Get me to the fucking playoffs. That's all I care about. Let's get to the playoffs and let's see where you at.
They already expanded the shit, so
right. But
Tampa get in.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Division.
Are you upset because
no, man? Come on, just say what you're gonna say.
Episode 161. Somebody's mad. Trey Medley Show. This your boy LP.
The other one is Gati.
Who that?
Fuck 'em.
We out this bitch.